Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, we've got a bit of a different video that we're going to be doing. This is one I've written down a few key talking points that I want to go through. It could be a 2-minute video, it could be a 20-minute video. I just wanted to talk about some major concerns of the community that I'm seeing in the comments section, in Discord, and all of that sort of stuff. Give you guys a chance to put what your thoughts down in the comments and have a discussion. Keeping it civil because I hate toxic stuff. So keep that in mind. But yeah, let's get into it. Now the first thing I want to talk about is going to be too many heroes coming into the game. We're not looking at dimensionals here. I'll talk about them in their own topic because they are their own beast entirely. We're looking at normal faction heroes being Lightbearers, Maulers, Wilders, and Graveborn. Now, every time I upload a video where we've got, patch notes or we've got skills of a new hero, there are comments of, please stop, too many heroes, can't keep up, all that sort of stuff. Now, keep in mind, this is one man's opinion. You do not have to agree with me. This is just how I view it, and everyone views things differently. So have your piece down the bottom. It's all good. I just wanted to bring the conversations a bit more to light and let you guys have your say and just have my thoughts about it. So once again, just one man's opinion. For me personally, I always get excited about new heroes. It's adding stuff to the game, keeping it exciting, giving you more things to think about. Even if you don't have them, it gives you ideas to theory craft and go, ooh, do I actually want to get that hero? Now, for a player who's just come to the game, it may seem overwhelming if you've been playing for a month and there's already been 2 new heroes introduced into the game. I can definitely see how that may be overwhelming. However, due to the fact that as you progress later in the game, you are going to start unlocking select summons. We do have faction scrolls. We have the 100% chance to get whatever you want off the wish list, one of the 5 of the wish list when you do summon. I feel like it's good enough that you can narrow down on the heroes that you want to build as you go along. Now, this is my free-to-play account. It's not that old, so I've only got the 1 select summon. I'm pretty close to 2. That's 2 every month. On my main account, I'm getting close to 4. That's 4 every month. So if I time it right, when they drop a new hero on my main account, I can get 4 copies, and then, maybe in 10 days, the select summon resets. I can get my other 4 copies, and I've got that hero ascended. So I think for the later game players, it's actually quite nice. I understand the investment into signature items and stuff like that is very heavy. But I try to be, in general, fairly frugal with my signature item upgrades. Only upgrade the things that really matter, and then if something new comes along that is going to out prioritize those things for signature items, then I'll just bump them up the list and prioritize them. Now, the other thing is, on this sort of topic is going to be power creep. Now, when we jump into something like Legends Championship, we do have, what are we looking at here? Okay, I've never seen this screen. Sorry, I had to cut there because I've never seen this screen. I didn't realize that I got into qualification matches for the Champions Arena. I didn't even realize that. So this was my formation. Oh, dude, that sucks. That sucks. I gotta modify this so next time if we get into there, we can actually do something. Oh, that's Devo. Okay. Anyway, let's continue with the topic at hand. We can't look at it there. But yes, when we talk about power creep, it can definitely be a thing. However, the thing with PvP in this game, unless you're a mega whale, and this is where I cannot put forth a valid opinion because I'm not a complete endgame player. So definitely endgame players may have a different view on this. For me, personally, even though I just got into qualifying rounds as free to play, as being a low spender / free to play, power creep doesn't really bother me personally because this is mainly a PvE game. The PvP, you've really got to either be playing a hell of a long time and have a lot of people drop off for you to get into the top ranks, or you've got to spend a lot of cash. So for the majority of people, and I know there is going to be some who this will affect more, for the majority of people, I find that added heroes is more of a selection type thing, giving you more options, as opposed to you're getting phased out of the game, because in PvE progression you can use whatever you want and you can progress at your own pace. So that is my sort of feels on too many heroes. I actually like all the new heroes coming to the game. Gives you more stuff to look at and gives you more options to build, and also for the newer players it gives you more options to build in the early game to help you catch up to, or not catch up, more speed up your progress. So that's my thoughts on new heroes. So now I want to talk about the dimensionals. At the time of recording this, we've got like 6 hours before I can go ahead and exchange irons on my free-to-play account, which I'm pumped about, and Albedo as well. Now, the last video that I made talking about the Persona 5 collaboration, a lot of comments saying they're killing the game, all that sort of stuff. Now, the thing about dimensionals that makes them a bit different to other general heroes is that they are collaborations and there is money involved when doing this. Obviously, I don't know the inner workings of Lilith and how this works. This is just my assumption on how it does happen. I'm assuming to get the rights to use these IPs, they've got to pay some money, in which case they've also got to make some money along the way to cover it, and also it does help grow the game. Now, before we go any more into just talking about them, I want to talk quickly about the Irons and Albedo collaboration and what it actually did for the game. If we go over here and look at my PC screen, this is Google Trends looking at the trend of Afk Arena. This is focused on the United States because I don't know how to check other places. But as you can see over here, this is the general trend for the game. Then there was another factor in this. This is when they also did start all those new ads, the Markiplier collaboration as well, and then the the Overlord collaboration did drop as well. And you can see they effectively boosted their trend like over 2 times. From the low here that we were at 31, the trend actually got up to that 100. And it has actually settled back down to 63. So from the low before the collaboration, the Overlord, also the Markiplier, like I said, and all that stuff, they have boosted their trend, which is basically people talking about or searching about the game, which isn't a direct indication of player levels, but is a good indication of, you know, a bit more interest in the game and stuff like that. So the collaborations can work if they do land the right collaboration in growing the game's awareness and popularity. So that is just something that I wanted to look at and show you guys that that collaboration was actually a success, in my opinion, for the game's health, in getting new players in and everything like that. And I know there are some people that may be like, yeah, but why not just support your existing players and stuff like that? The problem is, if you don't worry about getting new players into the game and you just keep focusing on only your existing players, then eventually existing players will continuously slowly drop off, and if you're not working on getting new ones in, then the game dwindles down to nothing and it dies. So I think Afk Arena do a fantastic job at promoting their game and getting new players in, but at the same time providing so much new content for their existing players to keep them happy. So that's my thought on that little piece of statistics there. But as for the dimensionals, I have zero issue with them doing a bunch of collaborations, getting cool new heroes into the game. Just think, even you might not appreciate the collaborations they've done yet, but just think about your favorite IP or favorite anime, game, anything in the world that doesn't have its own game. I said game. Doesn't have its own mobile game. Hey. For instance, for me, if they brought like, and this one probably won't happen, but if they brought like a Master Chief into the game from Halo, like that would blow my mind. So the more collaborations they do, the more people they're going to hit in that soft spot, and it's going to be good and it's going to be exciting for people. Now, having said that, I do think there is an issue with the exchange, 100%. It feels, it's not a good feeling, and this is once again, all of this one man's opinion. I'm going to emphasize that as much as I can. My opinion does not hold any more weight than anyone else's. But for me, this is a grind for free to play. Now, I feel like they've covered the paid aspects of these very well, making the first one $10 and the second one 50, is it? I can't remember the exact pricings because I look at things in Australian dollars or whatever this currency that shows up on my test server. But yeah, I think it's like $10 and $50. Oh no, it's like 10 and 30. Whatever it is. They're fairly reasonably priced for getting a full collaboration hero in a mobile game. Like, they're fairly decently priced, so they've covered the paid players very well. It's just the free to play in this sense, I feel like needs a little bit of work. Now, I'm sensitive to the fact that, like I said earlier, they can't make the free to play option more enticing to paid players than the paid option. But having said that, the enticement of being able to get them instantly may be enough, and not having to wait a month, I don't know. This is where it would come down to them doing experiments on how to obtain dimensionals. And once again, they don't want to go into the negative on trying this stuff out. But for me, I definitely think there has to be a change to the obtaining to make it less grindy. I definitely think it still has to be more enticing, and I don't have the exact answer. Otherwise, I'd probably work for Lilith. But I feel like a way to make it less feel like a chore, and like it, and that's pretty much what it does feel like. It feels like a chore, especially with these limits. I feel like just raising these limits on all currencies would be really nice, so that you could choose. It's not always that the heavy emphasis is on lab coins, because we have the lab coins here, which, you know, you want to buy Arthur so that you can unlock the dimensional signature item upgrades, so that you can upgrade these dimensionals that you're saving for, but you can never get to those pieces or never buy them because you're always using that stuff on actually obtaining those dimensionals. And I know people will say, well, you don't have to get the collaboration heroes, they're limited. I ain't gonna miss out. So it would be nice if on the dimensionals, we could increase the cap on all of these and maybe say, okay, I'm going to do more investment into guild coins to get these than I am into lab coins for this one. And I still feel like probably, I know for me personally, on the spending aspect, just the idea of getting the heroes 30 days quicker, I would still purchase them on my main account as opposed to do the free to play exchange, because I am going to save some currency. I just think the labyrinth coin emphasis is a bit too heavy, but that's pretty much the recap for Dimensional Heroes. Is I think more collaborations is good. It gives the game more exposure, brings more players into it, gives them more dollars to develop into the game for the current players and all that sort of stuff. I think collaborations are good. And on to the previous thing, talking about new heroes in general. I just get excited about theory crafting with new heroes and seeing new stuff. I just really enjoy it. Once again, personal opinion, but the free-to-play obtaining of the new heroes, the Dimensionals, could definitely use a tweak. The paid obtaining of them, I think, is at a very well balanced point. Next up, I wanted to talk about too much content in the game. Now, we do have things that have come in. For instance, we do have the Misty Valley, we do get regular Voyage of Wonders, but these are events that I think are very manageable. For me personally, the game's content has got to a point where I've had to drop, and I'm only playing 2 accounts now. I was playing like 6 back in the day. It's undoubted that there has been put more content into the game. And for me, alts are getting a lot harder, but they always were hard due to the Arcane Labyrinth, doing that every second day on multiple accounts. It just became tedious. 1 or 2 accounts, it's, you know, enjoyable, getting those resources, stuff like that. More than that, it just became hard anyway. But something like, I just want to talk about some of the newest type stuff. So the Misty Valley, I see people getting annoyed about the Misty Valley, saying it's too hard. I think, honestly, if you just run through the Misty Valley, like on this account, I don't even stress too much about the silver and gold chests. As you can see, I haven't got a lot of them, and I just, like, it can take me, you know, 20 to 30 minutes to run through and clear all these. I haven't even got back here to finish it. Clear them all with just my strongest team, get through it, open all the things, and then we can go to the main chest and we can collect some really nice rewards. I think Misty Valley is a perfectly placed one. You know, you get the first half of the levels in the first, what is it, like 10 days, the next one, and then the rest unlock. I can't remember exactly how it works, but you can cruise through that in about half an hour, but you've got like a month to do that half hour worth of grind. I don't think this one is an issue. I know some people just skip it. That's cool. Seems like too much. But for me, you know, a half hour across a month, it's like a minute a day. I don't think that's too grindy, in my opinion. And same with the Voyage of Wonders, you know, those normally take about 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer to clear, and there's some just really nice rewards. And once again, if you don't want to do them, it's a PvE primarily game, so you don't have to. Things like the Peaks of Times, all those things are there permanently. You can just do them in your own time, so it's not a time crunch, anything like that. All the events they've been having in the game are fairly decent, not too time consuming, so I've been enjoying that. And then the big one is going to be the Abyssal Expedition. Something, and just before we get into the Abyssal, the Arcane Labyrinth, the daily Arcane Labyrinth was absolutely murderous. So now that they've changed it to be the Labyrinth of Limbo, where you get double rewards, absolutely fantastic change. I'm happy with that. They did address that issue. Now the big elephant in the room is going to be the Abyssal Expedition. Now, the thing about the Abyssal Expedition is they know this one has burnt people out. I am like, this one came at the worst time. The test server I had a few days of good progression in it. The one on live servers, it came at a horrible time for me. It's coming towards the end of the work year. I've had my son's birthday. I've had family Christmas parties. Like, I have just not had the time for this. And the thing with the Abyssal Expedition is it is very specific time intensive, as opposed to the other features like the Misty Valley and stuff like that, where, you know, you can just do that in your own time. You have to be in here grinding this. If you miss out, you get detached from your teammates, and you cannot get back together with them unless you spend a lot of time grinding and trying to get there, wasting your stamina, all that sort of stuff. So this one is very, very intensive, and I honestly think the Abyssal Expedition, once every 3 to 4 months, people would really look forward to. The fact that we had, I think it was 3 back to back to back, has just worn players out. Now, I understand the reasoning they've done this. They did have the collaboration. They were contractually bound, whatever that word is that I'm trying to say. They must have had something in the contract where they had to do this. They, you know, agreed to it, and then they couldn't get out of it. So that's where we ended up having this back to back to back Abyssal Expedition, which was cool themed. I liked the theme of it. It was all cool. I really did enjoy that. It was just, it wore players out by going so quickly into it. And I know you can just enroll casually, but hey, when you're in a guild and the guild's going in, you wanna try for the rest of the guild, and a lot of people have been getting burnt out in this. So this is the only thing that I think they've gone too hard on, and they've identified it, and they've apologized, and they've said, listen, we're going to take a break from them and let you guys recuperate, which is nice. But for the more casual players, if you just enroll casually, you can still get some really nice rewards. You can probably still get to the 20 and 30 scrolls, whatever it is, the normal scrolls, faction scrolls, and some nice rewards. But, you know, once you get into guild features that really you feel like you're letting your team down, if you're a semi-competitive or just like social player, it does become a bit of a drag. But that is it for Abyssal. That is it for content. Like I said, I feel like all the content they do introduce into the game is very AFK based, in that you can do it in your own time, except for that Abyssal, which they have acknowledged. But anyway, those were just some talking points that I wanted to go through, because it's been, you know, common themes that I see in the comments. If there's anything else you guys want to bring up, feel free to drop it in the comments. If I get enough, I'm happy to make another one of these videos. There was just one comment I saw which I couldn't find to bring it up, but it was talking about how, you know, you should bring these things to light or something like that. Anyway, it made me think of making this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I have no idea how long this has been, because I've cut a few times, so if it's been a massive time, let me know if you're still here, and thank you very much for being here. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day and an awesome period leading up to Christmas. Everyone's finishing work. It's a good time of the year. Anyway, guys, have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.